Leg on each side, one arm over, one arm under. Call this our seatbelt, right? He's going to use the top arm to choke me to death and the bottom arm to control me. I don't want either of those things to happen, right? So we're going to start with the basic defense of just pinning the arm and turning in, and then we'll worry about the fancier versions later. Okay, so first thing I got to do is protect myself. You see how John's got his bottom hand controlling? That means that if I try to pry that bottom hand off, he's going to kill me with the top hand. So I don't want to worry about that arm. I want to worry about the one that's trying to kill me. So I'm going to pry it away, use my opposite arm to dig inside. I'm not even worried about breaking his grip at this point. I'm just worried about protecting my neck. Okay, he's going to use his feet. We call these hooks. He's hooking my body, holding on with his heels, okay, with his hamstrings. He doesn't want to cross his feet, because if he crosses his feet, I'm going to take that top one with my leg, and I'm going to break his ankle, right? So we never cross our feet when we're on the back. Never except when, right? So, protect the neck. I start prying that away, making a little space. Next thing I need to do, whatever arm is over my shoulder, I want to fall that direction. As long as I'm looking towards the sky, looking into that elbow, and my head gets to the other side of his, I drive it to the ground, he's not going to be able to choke me. As long as his head is under mine, he can still finish this, even if I'm on the wrong side. Okay? Yeah. All right? So I got to drive my head through his face to get it to the ground. I'm going to keep prying that hand away, getting it like I'm trying to choke a baseball bat. All right? And I pass it over top of my head. This is a great defensive controlling position. Holding on. I'm not worried about much else at this point. Just worried about holding on to that hand. Now all he can do is try to get it back. Right? Exactly. So I'm going to start scooting those hips out until my leg is free. And now I can turn into him. Back into side control. Right? I do that by stepping over and threading the needle under. If I end up in mount, perfect. If I don't, I end up in half guard. All right? It's kind of mount, side control, half guard. If I end up in full guard, well, that's worst case scenario. Okay, me getting choked unconscious is worst case scenario. But as far as escapes go, right? So one more time. Okay? First thing, protect your neck. Don't get killed. All right? Or don't get punched in the face if you're in MMA. Get my head to the ground and I start shrimping my hips out so that he can't control it. You can see that he already lost that outside hook. Get my hands inside to choke his arm like a chicken. And I pass it over to get that pressure. This keeps his shoulders pinned to the ground. Now when I'm ready to attack, we were working on this over there. I've already got his leg to the ground here, right? Whoop. I start diving that elbow in and turning into him. Oh, this time I ended up in half guard. If he doesn't shrimp out the other way. Make sense? So once my head is on the outside of his arm, it's hard for him to wrap to finish me. Okay? We might end up in a little bit of a scramble. I might end up in a dominant position, or I just turn inside his legs and end up in guard. But with a gi on, it's much harder to end up in the scrambled position. So he's going to start grabbing at stuff, and I'm going to try to keep my shoulder pressure on. Make sense? So worry about getting that arm over the head and start turning into him. Get my elbow in nice and tight. I'm digging that inside elbow, the one closest to the person trying to kill me. Digging that elbow to the ground to get control of his body. All right, so we'll start with that. And work up. 1, 2, 3.